You're listening to WTJU Charlottesville. This spooky season, Potter Cider is hosting Charlottesville's Spirit Ball. For Arts This Week, we chatted with Christina Fleming, a Charlottesville musician and organizer for the Spirit Ball.
My name's Christina. I'm the lead singer and pianist of local group Please Don't Tell, inviting you to Potter's Craft Cider on October 26th. Doors open at 6 o'clock. Music starts at 7. We're also being joined by the wonderful Charming Disaster, who are much more charming than disastrous.
What is the Spirit Ball?
So the Spirit Ball was something that we came up with last year around our first EP release, and with just the idea that it's more fun to have a more immersive, all-encompassing, thematic event that's based around the music, adding a little bit to the cabaret element and just making things more fun, letting people be part of the atmosphere and add to it themselves.
What sets this event apart from the last Spirit Ball hosted by Please Don't Tell?
So the Spirit Ball this year was really it's an extension of what we did last year, but we're not releasing music this time. It's really just to keep the spirit, so to speak, alive. We played with a New York-based band, Charming Disaster, last year and had so much fun collaborating with them that we thought it'd be fun to do it again. Potter's is this amazing atmosphere for something like this with its 100-year-old stone chapel, tasting room, and then maybe a little bit of tasteful decorating added by us.
How did you find your sound as a musician, and what are some of your influences?
I have a strong classical background, and so do both of my bandmates. We all have sort of grown up around a more subculture environment with goth and punk and metal and theater, and it just sort of seemed to combine in this way with the particular influences that we all bring. We often get compared to things like Kurt Weill, which is always my favorite compliment, I think. And there's definitely some, Mozart, like Beethoven influences and, things like Bauhaus, Sisters of Mercy. And so there's a pretty wide range.
What is something you enjoy or find unique about the Charlottesville music scene?
Charlottesville is a really unique place in that it's not particularly a large metropolitan area, but we seem to have a really thriving and varied music scene and people who are really amazing in lots of different styles. I think anyone could find something to love in our live music scene. We're really lucky. And there's a strong, collaborative nature that's always been there. Even going to shows in the Tokyo Rose basement back in the day when I was a teen, all of the sort of more fringy elements of Charlottesville tended to come together and support each other's shows. And I feel like that, while it's maybe not as prevalent as it was then, it's still, those threads are still in our community today.
Are there any other projects you're currently working on or pursuing?
I'm always pursuing lots of different projects. I also teach voice in Charlottesville. I'm performing with the Albemarle Symphony Orchestra in November, the group of French songs by a composer named Cantaloupe, and that should be a lot of fun. And I just did a collaboration with a group of musicians on Goretzky's Symphony of Sorrow and the Charlottesville Ballet, and there's just so much talent here that there's no shortage of interesting projects that sort of suddenly emerge and draw you in.
The Spirit Ball is open to the public and will be on October 26th, starting at 6 p.m. You can find out more information about Please Don't Tell and the Spirit Ball at pleasedon'ttellmusic.com or on social media at Please Don't Tell Music. Arts This Week is supported by the UVA Arts Council and Piedmont Virginia Community College. PVCC Arts presents a rich array of dance, music, theater, and visual arts programming. Learn more at pvcc.edu. You're listening to WTJU.